Hi everyone, it's me Marcy. Thanks to some suggestions from friends, we're going to call this channel Magic Meals with Marcy. Since we're from Barberton and Barberton's the Magics, it fits perfectly. Anyways, today what we're going to make is we're going to make a simple marinara sauce that is got a lot of flavor. It's fresh and healthy, and it's less than $2 to make enough to cover a pound of pasta. We're then going to take that sauce and we're going to make chicken parmesan roll-ups, which I'll show you in a little bit. But let's start with the marinara sauce. You're going to start off with a 28-ounce can of stewed tomatoes or diced tomatoes, and pour them into a bowl like I've done here. And then you're going to take about a cup of water and just take that to swish out all the juices from the can and set that aside for now. Then we get to reach in and squish up all the tomatoes. So like if you're using whole tomatoes or, large diced or whatever kind of tomatoes you can get, you're just going to break up all those little chunks so they'll cook down nice and easy. Plus it's kind of fun to squish. Alright, that's pretty good. Oops, there goes my hand wiping rag. So we're just gonna wipe all that off my hands. Use a dry towel. Set that aside. A few other things that we're gonna need to make this is we're gonna need some extra virgin olive oil, about 7 or 8 cloves of garlic, which I'm gonna show you how to peel and sliver in just a moment. Salt and pepper, of course. And in here we've got a little bit of salt, some Italian seasoning, and just a little bit of red pepper flakes. And that's everything that we need for the marinara sauce. To peel and sliver your garlic cloves, you're going to take your garlic cloves, set it on the counter or a nice sturdy cutting board. Just give it a little whack with your knife, with the side of your knife like that. And that breaks the skin off so it comes off real nice and easy. And then we're just going to take our knife, cut some nice thin slices of our garlic. And then since this is kind of a big clove right here, we're just going to slice it up just a little bit more there. Oops, missed one. Alright, so that's how you want to sliver your garlic. Like I said, I've got about 7 or 8 cloves there in the little bowl. Now we get to start cooking. Garlic always makes my fingers feel sticky, sorry. Just going to wipe that off a little bit more. Alright, so we're going to turn on our pan. And even though we're making a sauce, we don't want to use a a deep pot. We want to use a skillet like this. Just going to put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil on there and let that get hot for a second. And sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Old age, what can I say? One thing I do want to let you know, at home, some of you know me personally, others of you maybe not. These are the real meals that I make for my family. I know what it's like to have to try to cook on just a few dollars a week after you pay the bills. I do have some culinary school training, but I don't really consider myself a chef. I don't have the experience and, quite frankly, the ability to really consider myself a chef. But I'm a decent cook. And over the years, I've learned a few things to help save a few dollars along the way, and I thought I'd pass it along with my other moms and dads that are out there struggling, as I am, to make ends meet. Alright, so we got our garlic going. We're just going to let that heat up, get a little translucent, but we don't want it to brown. I'm going to turn down my fire just a little bit. There we go. When garlic starts to brown, it starts to get bitter, and we don't want that bitterness. Alright, that's good. Now we're going to add our tomatoes that we mashed up earlier. Ooh, listen to that sizzle. The water that we use to get the juices. Our spices. Give that a little stir. So that'll all come together. And we're going to let that cook down and reduce. And get nice and thick like a nice hearty marinara sauce. That's going to take maybe about 15-20 minutes. And since I've been playing with my phone, I know how to do some editing on my videos now. So we're going to take a quick break and I'll be back to show you what the sauce looks like when it cooks down. Hi guys, we're back. As you can see, our sauce is reduced down nicely. You can see up here where it started off, and we just let it cook so all those nice flavors can concentrate and develop. Took about 15 minutes, maybe 17, 18. But now we're going to use this to make a chicken parmesan rollotini. Rollotini is just a fancy word for roll it up. Okay. I've got my oven set to 350. I've got my baking dish that I've sprayed with a little nonstick cooking spray. But even still, just to make it even less sticky, we're going to take a little bit of our freshly made marinara sauce and just line the bottom of our cooking pan. Just a little bit, just to give it a nice little bed to rest on. That'll be good. Set that over there for now. I don't know if you remember the chicken breast that we used for the forgetting my words today. The chicken fajitas that we made a few weeks ago. I've taken some of the pack and frozen it, so I still have some of them left. But what I did was, because they were so big, I took and I cut the breast in half. And then I'm going to take one of those halves I did, just a little bit of salt on each side. Not too much. A little bit of pepper. Again, both sides. And you can see I got it here on some plastic wrap. I'm going to fold this plastic wrap over, and I want to pound it nice and flat, so it's only about maybe a half an inch, quarter an inch thick. I don't happen to have a meat mallet, but a good sturdy pot works just as well. Whoops. Let's take the knife off there, make it a little less noise. This cutting board maybe not be the best for that. We're just going to pound it out so it's nice and flat, so it'll cook nice and even when we round it up, when we roll it up. Alright, there we go. Good way to get your aggressions out too. You don't want to pound it too hard though. Number one, you can tear through the chicken breast, and that's just not very good for anything when you do that. Number two, all that chicken juice goes flying everywhere. And number three, well, it's just not nice. So I did the other three before, so you didn't have to sit there and listen to me pounding on the counter. Yeah. Wipe my fingers off. We're going to take just a little bit again of our marinara sauce. Spread it out on each one of these. Not too much. You don't want it to get too damp when it's cooking, or moist, or whatever, because we do want to have a little bit of a breading on the top that we want it to get crispy. But it's not chicken parmesan without a little bit of sauce in there, right? There's two. There's three. I I should come up with a little song to sing while I'm doing this kind of stuff, but I don't know if you guys really want to hear me sing. That's another video. Alright, so we've got our marinara sauce on our chicken breasts. I'm going to take a little bit of mozzarella cheese. Sprinkle it on. There's 1, 2, 3. Now you'll find when you go shopping, the most expensive part of this meal, believe it or not, is the cheese. So we want to be kind of sparing with it, because then we can save our cheese for some other things. And plus that's where all your fat's going to be too, is in the cheese. Our chicken breast is nice and lean. And before I pounded it out, I took and trimmed off the excess fat and any little tough bits that sometimes you get on a chicken breast. Got our Parmesan now. And now we're going to take and roll these up. So let's start at the skinny end. That might be a little better. Yeah, there we go. Just going to roll those up. Try to get all the little bits and ends rolled up too. And we're going to take and put it in our baking dish with the fold down. That'll help it hold together as it cooks. Alright, number 2 here. Excuse me. 3. And last but not least. Alright. Just going to get this out of our way. Excuse me a second. Don't show this part. Don't show our messy kitchen. And like I said, we want to have a nice little breading for on top. So we're going to take, and in this bowl, I've got a little bit of olive oil, another garlic clove slivered up, and some fresh thyme. And we're going to put that in our pot. Just let that get warm for a few seconds to get aromatic. Aromatic means that you can start smelling the herbs and stuff cooking. Okay, sorry about the little glitch. Apparently I had an alarm that went off on my phone and it stopped the recording. But that gave time for the oil to get hot. You can see how it's bubbling around the thyme and the garlic. That's all we need it to do. Just enough to get a little bit of that flavor infused in there. In here I've got some breadcrumbs, about a cup, maybe a little less, probably not going to use it all, and my little strainer here because I just want the oil from this. I don't want all the herbs in there. We're just going to toss that to combine it. Stick your hand in there and do it a little bit too if you need to. There we go. And we're just going to sprinkle that over top of our chicken Parmesan. That's going to give it that nice crunch and brown it up real nice for us. There we go, that looks good. But by sprinkling breadcrumbs on it like that, we're not going to get all that carbs and all that kind of stuff from the breading, like if you used a breaded chicken patty. We're going to stick this in our 350 degree oven again for about 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll take a look and see how they look then. See you in a few. Okay, so my timer just went off. I've got this handy dandy little probe thermometer that you can see has a wire that goes into the chicken in the oven. So I know exactly when the chicken reaches 165 degrees, which is what we want it to get to be safe to eat. So we're going to take it out of the oven. Let's see how this looks. Ooh, yeah. Nice and brown, crispy. It's going to be real good. Got to be careful. This wire is hot. I've made that mistake before. I will leave that one in. All right, what I did while we were waiting, that took about 35 minutes to cook. So when I knew it was getting close, I went ahead and cooked up some whole grain pasta, tossed it with a little bit of our marinara sauce. I'm going to put that on the plate. Ooh. If you want to get fancy, you can turn that into a bird nest, but we're getting hungry, so I'm just going to get that on the plate there. I suppose I need something to get my chicken out with. See, has this cooled down yet? Yes, it has. Get our chicken. Look at all that cheese. Yum, yum, yum. Put that right on top of our pasta. And a little bit more of our marinara sauce right on top. And here's another instance where if you have a little herb garden and you can put a little bit of fresh parsley or something on top and give it a little bit of green on top, that'd be wonderful. It's literally snowing, the first snow of the year right now, so I don't have that. But there you go. There's a chicken parmesan rollotini on top of some whole grain pasta, a little side salad on the side. Altogether, the chicken and the pasta was about $7 for 4 servings. Another $1, you can, if you don't want to get a salad, you could get a box of broccoli at the store or something like that and heat that up as a side so you have a nice green vegetable. Complete meal for just about $7 or $8. Hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you give it a try.